welcome to the inaugural Inside the Shield with Pro Football Moms. Man, I'm your host, Elisha Jarrett, and along with my co-host, Rob Vaka, do we have a special guest for you today? None other than the mother of a player, Rob, that has marked the league for eternity.
There's seriously too many accolades for this guy to go through, and I feel super blessed to have Mama on today, but I also want to get into who this guy is, because when I talk about him, when I think about him, I actually no longer think about football. I think about the man he is, the mind he has, the passion he has, the wisdom he has, and I think we're going to get a lot to that today from Ray Lewis's mom. Mama, it's good to see you.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
We are great, great, great. I am just beaming because I got my mama on the show. And we could not do it any other way but to have my mom be our first mom.
It's fitting. It's totally fitting. And I'm not going to call you Reverend today. I'm just going to call you Mama. But it is super great to see you again. It's always great to have you in the house. And we're looking forward to you sharing with us who Ray is and when you knew he was special and what makes him different. Because when I think about Ray Lewis, I think about the word and the term legendary. And I don't throw that around a lot, but he is a legendary person. Isn't he, Lisa?
Oh, he's beyond legendary. And again, you know, while I think of the accomplishments that Ray has had on the field, like you, Rob, I think about the man that he is and the accomplishments that he's had off the field. You know, I mean, I think about him and I beam with pride and joy and, you know, the way that he's able to have given back and poured into so many others, including my son, Grady. You know, he got him at an early age and just really started grooming him and, you know, teaching him the ropes. And Ray does this for so many other guys, Rob.
He does. Let's jump in. Get us going on the stories.
Mama, tell us about, and there's so many times, so many times. But first, tell us, when did you know that Ray had the potential to be great?
He was like 9 years old. Ray always went out in the yard, and I actually played football with the boys, not on grass, but out on the pavement. And he would just tear his pants up to pieces, so I would have to patch him up. And so I put him into Little League. And once he went into Little League, it was no stopping this kid. He was just going to run over everybody. So it was early on. With his Pee Wee League, he was in Pee Wee. So Ray started playing ball actually at 7. But when I really knew that he was special, when he turned 9.
Wow.
So what happened at that point, Mama? What happened when he was 9 to kind of tip the hat for you and show you, hey, this kid, hey, maybe he will be legendary someday?
Ray was the person that always worked before and after everybody else. He never stopped. Even at 9 years old, this kid was incredible. When all the other kids was out playing, he was somewhere working out. He was going to make it no matter what. He ran track. He played wrestling. He stayed in the school doing some kind of sport to keep him going.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I knew that Ray was going to be special.
Mm-hmm. We mentioned several of the accolades that Ray has. And in addition to him being a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, but, you know, and he's done a whole bunch of things, but what specific accomplishment, Mom, did Ray do that you are the most proudest of?
Well, you know, he always said he wanted his name to be over the world. He wanted to be the greatest ever. And he did that in every area of his life. Ray did that. And, you know, he always quote, discipline is required even when nobody is looking. Mm-hmm. And that's Ray Lewis. He worked from his heart. He worked passionately, and he worked for others and with others. So for me, it wasn't just about him. It was about everybody. He's a team player.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he get, Mama, where did he get his gift of gab, for a lack of a better term? Where did he get the ability to speak in such a moving, wisdom-based way? I sit down with him. I've had dinner with him before. I've been at a charity event with him, and it's one of those times where I don't even want to say anything. I just want to hear him talk.
You want me to answer that, or you want her to answer that?
You can both answer it.
Yeah, he get it from this lady right here on this screen. Tell him about it, Mama.
He'll tell you, he tell people like this, he said, I get it from my mama. I get it from my mama. So he always say that. When people hear him speak, and when I speak, you know, they're like, oh my God, that's where Ray get it from. So it started young. You know, Ray was a junior deacon at 9 years old.
So were you pastoring in the church? Were you speaking in church? How did he pick this up?
I actually was a Sunday school teacher in the church, and I did the choir. And my kids went to school. They slept just like you go to school. That's the way they slept on the church benches in the church. Morning, noon, and night, they was there. Mm-hmm. They had this called the Junior Senior Circle. They won it every year. And, you know, all kind of contests of spelling and reading. So I always kept them active into one thing or another. I made sure, you know, they didn't get into gangs. They didn't get into the streets. I made sure that he was rooted and grounded in the Word of God.
Mm-hmm. Mama, look, now my brothers and sisters, Keon and the twins and Kadeja, they all gonna be like, why you ask that question? But I gotta get you to tell it. Tell us how you used to have them cleaning up, Ma.
Well, you know, everybody had duties on the refrigerator. And if you didn't get your duties done, then that means you had to do everybody else's duties for a month. So it's this little joke that I tell them the only thing they had to fear me, God, and the rattlesnake. So my daughter, Keisha, and they tease me about it all the time, told me, I say, well, you know, I worked. And when you work 3 jobs, you're not always there to take care of your kids. So Ray was like, became the man of the house. He was the oldest, so he had to help with them. To make a long story short, so I said, well, you got to fear me, God, or you better. So Keisha said, well, Mama, I respect you and I never disrespect you, but I'm not going to jump in a pit of rattlesnakes. I just won't do nothing wrong. And they tease me about that to this day.
So what was it like for you? So Ray grows up in the church. He has consequences if he doesn't do his chores. He gets to the University of Miami. What changes at that point? Does anything change? What was that experience like for you when Ray was playing for the Hurricanes?
Well, it actually changed our whole life because I packed up and actually moved there with him. And it wasn't easy to do. But, you know, when you have your kid that young, you don't want to just throw him out there. Every week, me and my mother and my father, we would ride back and forth. It just got to be too much. So eventually he got a 2-bedroom apartment and we moved there. So I stayed there with him, you know, and got to be with all his friends. So it was life-changing for us, for UM. I didn't like it, didn't like the water, didn't like the food, didn't like nothing about man.
You didn't like it?
Nope.
What was it like? When I think of the time that Ray was playing for the Hurricanes, that was, you know, that really put the Hurricanes on the map and really set the stage for what would be the next really 20 years of Miami football. And Miami was like, Miami Hurricane football was at the top, and Ray helped put it there. What was the football scene like in Miami at that time, and how was it different?
Well, you know, back then they had Trent, they had Rohan. They was a little older than Ray, Rohan, Sepp, and all of them. So they actually, you know, was role models for Ray while we was there at UM, and they kind of showed and paved us the way. So everybody would come over to the house, and I would cook for them, so they knew what I would do. But it was, you know, being there to all the practices, about like what Lisa do for Jarrett. You didn't have a life because they life become your life, and your life become theirs. So you don't have a life. So I enjoyed the football. I enjoyed the tailgating. We tailgated and everything. So it became my life.
And I know what I enjoyed most and still enjoy today is my mother's cooking. I mean, she is an amazing cook. Like, I will fly her in just for her to cook
My stomach is making noises now. This is the part I don't like because now I'm hungry.
So, Mama, tell us some of Ray's secrets. What are some of the foods, like when he call and say, Mama, I need to see you? What is it that Ray wants you to cook for him?
He loves his banana pudding, red velvet cakes, collard greens, cornbread, mac and cheese, jam. When he ate meat, he don't eat meat anymore, So when he was eating meat, I would have, you name it, it's there. Turkey, yeah. I would have chicken. I cook like it's Christmas and Thanksgiving for my family. I cook everything. I cook enough for the whole football team. So they used to all come over and eat, most of them, because they knew that I cooked like that. So Ray loved he gonna say, Mama, I want me some sweet potato pie. That's his favorite, then banana pudding. But he loved his collard greens, mac and cheese. And like I say, his favorite meat was my barbecue chicken. He liked it. I did the fried turkeys. I do my own fried turkeys, inject them 24 hours. And so he had so much to eat from. But his favorite thing is my sweet potato pies and collard greens.
I still remember in the years that he was playing, I would fly up to Baltimore and Mama would have so much food. I mean, so much food. And she's serious. It wasn't just for Sunday dinner. It was every day she was cooking like that. I mean, she prepared this food for the week. I mean, it was amazing. And every time I was in heaven. And so now she comes here and she cooks for her daughter like that. And I'm still in heaven.
So, Mama, where did you learn to cook like that? Did you teach yourself?
My grandmother.
Your mother?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother?
My mother and father. Mother taught me how to cook. And I make everything from scratch. I don't play with cans or anything. They taught me how to cook from scratch. So
do you have patience?
Yes.
Because cooking from scratch and making that much food and doing it well takes time and patience.
But she does it very effortlessly. She just
love.
put it together and it's done.
So, right, when you're cooking and you're cooking for somebody you love, you cook with love. And that's when I'm cooking, I just know they're going to sit down as a family and we're going to enjoy it. We're going to laugh. We're going to play games. Everybody's going to keep going back in the kitchen to eat 3 or 4 more times. So that's why I love it so, and I don't mind cooking.
That's such a great tradition. It is a great way to bring family together. Everybody loves food. I don't know anybody who doesn't love food, and good food, you keep people coming around. So it sounds like you figured out the secret. Keep them coming around by feeding them.
Yep.
Tell us, Mama.
Ed Reed can tell you. Most of the players that was on there, Deion Sanders, Ed Reed, all of them used to come to the house to eat. You name it, they was there.
It was like the Heisman house at your house. You had Deion and Ed Reed and Ray, and you were serving. You were dishing. Tell us a little bit about how you see Ray's legacy. Ray is a legendary performer on the field. He is such an inspiration to so many people. He's got a podcast show. He's helped so many people. He just cares. How do you see as a mother, how do you sum up his legacy and what people will say about him when he's no longer around someday?
Well, they would call him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I would say that he's a man after God's own heart because he do love the Lord. And he showed you that before he speak, even on his podcast, Ray's going to talk about the Lord. So when he leave a legacy, not just on the field for football, the greatest of all time, but his legacy will be a man after God's own heart, a man that loved people, a man that gives, because, he did the oil wells over there for the people that have wells in Africa. He do stuff here with the Ray of Hope and all over the world. So Ray leaving a legacy to impact the world that your heart is my heart, and we are one. And I have taught them, the more you give, the more you receive. So Ray is a giving person. He gives back in every area of his life that he can. So that would be his legacy that he would leave here on the earth, always giving, always caring, always sharing. And what better legacy you can leave that being the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Absolutely.
On and off the field.
Absolutely. And one of the things that Steve Ricciardi and the Ravens did was, honor him by giving him his statue in front of that stadium. That is amazing. And then, you know, he also has a street name in Baltimore, Ray Lewis Way. I mean, amazing. Those are just a few of some of the things, you know, that Ray's been honored by. Mama, you know, your grandson and I, Jarrett, Grady Jarrett, has a tradition that we do every game. You know, before every game, we do the fist bump. And I'll give him a word or two, you know, right before he goes on the field. Tell us about some of the traditions that you and Ray used to do right before the game.
Well, you know, right before the game, I always call him and we have our prayer. I always send him a scripture. He's going to get that scripture from me. And he always promised me either a tackle, an interception. He's going to go out there and do something crazy to make sure. He made Sunday, every Sunday was Mother's Day. Every Sunday was, and that's what he named it, Mother's Day for me. So he made something happen out on that field. When that young man went on the field, it was for Mama. That was Mother's Day. So he named Sundays Mother's Day.
Wow.
Amazing. Every Sunday was Mother's Day. And he was going to go out there and prove himself. And he'll say, what you want today? What you want today? And he'll go out there and make it happen.
I remember that. Yes.
What's so
and
awesome
then he'll come
about
up
that?
in the suite, Lisa. He'll come up in the suite and say, didn't I tell you I was going to do it?
He sure did.
He made every Sunday Mother's Day, and he did something to make me proud each and every day as he went out there on that field.
That's a great lesson for anybody. You don't have to play football to want to make your mom proud. But what I caught in what you just said is when things are done with purpose, when things are done with a bigger why, they usually have better results. And Ray's that kind of guy. Ray's got a purpose. He's got a bigger why. You were his bigger why on Sundays. And I love the fact that he was playing for something more than to play for being a football player. So Ray had so many moments. Won 2 Super Bowls. He won multiple Defensive Player of the Year. He was a Hall of Famer. I was at, with this beautiful lady sitting next to me, I was at the ceremony for the Hall of Fame. We were at his party. Tell us in your words what the biggest moment in all those moments, which was the most magical and the biggest moment for you?
The biggest moment for me was the first Super Bowl. That was special to my life because, you know, they said that Ray would never ever play football again when he got that injury and he got that burner. And once that ran and got me, and they would, you know, they tell players don't do that, and said Ray was paralyzed from the neck down. And for me to see him go on that field again, when, you know, they say he would never play, tears lapped down my eyes. They couldn't even show the footage when they came in the suite because I was praising the Lord. So, and I was just thanking God because that is so fearful when you get a phone call. They send the limo at you and take you through, and I'm going through trauma looking at him. You know, that's where they take them at. And it was so mind-changing. I was so afraid because I'm like, oh, my God. And when I got back there, they had him all, you know, into the big straight jacket in the neck. And so it was really frightening. They said that he would never play ball again because he had a neck injury. So that was the greatest moment for me, for him to go back, win a Super Bowl, and go on that football field and play like he played.
That reminds me, Mom, of some of the times that I was with Ray going through some of the injuries. I started nicknaming him Man Beast because he would have like injuries that, again, like Mom said, they say he's done, he won't play, can't come back. And I'm there with him trying to recover or whatever. And I'm thinking that he's going to be in the, yes, that's right.
Remember you and Mona when it took care of him a whole month? Ray couldn't even move, couldn't do nothing. Mona and Lisa took care of him.
And like, he's not supposed to move, Rob. He's not supposed to do certain things. And he's up trying to move. I'm like, wait, calm down. But that's just the determination that he's always had, you know, and it's amazing. But it's not a secret, Mother, to where he gets it from. It's not a secret. And I applaud my mother every day, Rob, because he gets it from his mama. Like me, get it from my mama.
So, Mama, you're the mother to a legendary player, for lack of a better term, an all-star in Ray Lewis. What's it like for you watching your daughter be the mother to another all-star, your grandson, Grady Jarrett? What's that like?
Oh my God. My heart is like, it's just like a kid in a candy store. It's just like Christmas all over again. And when I go to the games and Grady and Lisa do the bumps and we all record and take a picture, and it's like glory to me. It's like heaven, because history, like Lisa said, Ray did so much when Jarrett was young. It's like seeing them all over again. And when we get together as a family, you could see them going back and forth, rehearsing all that they learned and what they did. So to see Grady become the man that he is, it's just, it covers my heart. It's just heart flowing. It's so different because, Ray is one thing, that's my son, but when you got your grandson come up and he's doing all the things that he do, and every time I see him, I always tell him, boy, you the best, you the greatest. So it's life-changing. It's life-changing for a grandmother to see her grandson accomplish all the things that Grady have accomplished. Even when he tackled, Tom Brady, I was out there to that, and we don't live that down. So Grady makes my heart full of joy. I love to see him play. I love his spirit because he's so humble. So having Ray as a GOAT and knowing that Grady's gonna be the GOAT and greater because Ray's, already retired. So that's how I feel. It just makes me smile. My heart is full of joy. It makes me peaceful, and it just makes me happy when I see him come out and he say, "Hey, grandma," when he walk out and he's just a big baby, a big teddy bear. So I love that, knowing that, Ray was a part of his life to help him train as Grady was small. I was looking at some pictures the other day. I was going to send to Lisa and send to Grady, who's a little fat, chubby little boy. And I laugh about it, and I'm like, wow, look how they both became men, and look how he's so great. And he got that passion on his own. He's passionate too. See, Ray couldn't give him that. That's something Grady already had. He just helped him develop it. So that's what I love about Grady, and that's what I love about the way he loved his mother, because he just like Ray. I mean, on that part, they love us unconditionally. It's no limit to the way they love us. So I can go on about Grady for him and Ray, but it's a person's heart. I don't care how much football they play. I don't care what they do. It's the love and respect, and when they have honor. And he's so humble and grateful. So that's the difference between him and Ray playing football on the field and off the field. I look at their hearts. I look at the passion. I look at what they do for us and what they do for their family. So that's what makes it so different for me to have Ray and then have a grandson come in and do the same thing and do more.
What a blessing and what joy coming from a mother and a grandmother. That's powerful.
For sure. The two, Grady and mother, they share a special game day ritual. Every game, before the game, she sends him a scripture to read, and she tells him what she's looking for that day, and she does it every single game. It's
Amen.
Amazing.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And it's so funny because he said, "Come on, I needed that. I needed that. That was on time." So it's like I be ready his spirit when I send it to him. So yes, so that's something else we do. But just to see Grady, and I'm ended up with it, it's like really like Christmas. You don't understand. You know how you wake up and you waiting excited for Christmas? That's the way that I be to see him play, because I know he's going out there and do what he say he's going to do.
Mama, we've heard so much about the impact you've had on Ray's life, from your speaking and your faithfulness and your role in the church and your cooking. What would Ray say about you if he had just one sentence and he could describe you?
He would say, number one, he would say I'm angelic, I'm different. He would say I'm TMZ, because that's what he called me. Because I do all the pictures and videos, and I have stuff they don't even know I have. So he called me TMZ. But he would tell you, he called me the secret keeper. That's what he put in my book. He said that woman can keep a secret. She ain't gonna tell you if you tell her. So that's what he would say about me. He would call me his best friend, because I'm all their best friends. And he said, you tell mama something, she gonna keep it. So he named me the secret keeper, and he named me TMZ.
That's awesome.
And he's gonna start with that woman there, that red woman there.
That's him. Lisa got a down pack. My daughter got a down pack.
Well, Mama, we're going to go on this note. Give us one secret that Mr. Ray Lewis would not want us to tell. Give us something that the viewers and listeners would just crack up about on Ray Lewis.
Well, one secret was, let me give you a good one, because you know he'll get me. He'll come. Oh, you got me with that one, Lisa. They always used to call him, you know, Barry used to stutter. So they used to call him whoa, 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 whoa. And this kid taught himself to stop stuttering. Now he's gonna get me for this one, but he did not talk the way he talked at all. He used to stutter, couldn't talk. And he trained himself to stop stuttering. So I think that was just excellent for a kid to, you know, they used to jive him, so they named him Whoa Whoa. And people didn't know why they call you Whoa Whoa, because he used to whoa. So
that is fascinating.
That's never been told. That's something the viewers don't know, but they know it now, why he had the name Whoa Whoa.
That's right. And I have to share one. Brother, I love you, but I have to share one. So he's always been on camera, right? He's always somebody has always wanted to interview him. But several years ago, this is close to 20 years ago, we used to stand in the mirror and practice what we call the commercial smile. Let's practice the commercial smile. And he has a down pack right now.
You got some outfit of kids, Mama. You got some outfit.
Yes, I do.
Between these twins and Ray, the three of them together have to be a whole hassle.
And she deals with it. She loves it. Well,
you
listen.
should have been there to the back in the house with the retirement party. We had a ball when Lisa retired. Yeah.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Yes, we did. And that was another special moment in the Ray Lewis family. Yes, that was a very, very, very special time.
Well, we've learned
to see my
so
baby
much.
retired. It was special.
It was special. We've learned so much today. It's unbelievable. I would never have guessed. I have plenty of people in my life who stutter, and stuttering's a fact of life, and it's what you make of it. But Ray is the last person I would have expected to ever stutter. That dude never says, I mean, he is on. He's got it down. And we learned how great a cook you are. Now, I want to make sure that I get some of that food next time I see you. So I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry now. And we know where Ray got his gift of the mouth from you, Mama.
Sure. For sure. Gift of the mouth and a lot of his physical talent as well from right there. Sunseria Smith. My mother.
Yes. You know, I was a track star now. I used to run track. And the funny thing about that, when I found out, the reason I stopped running track is I found that I was pregnant with Ray. So he's cut my career short, but he made up for it.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, he did.
There you go.
Yes.
On that note, we are going to close it up for the viewers. But listen, when you talk about the epitome of her mom, you know, somebody that has given up so much to raise beautiful, beautiful children, somebody that has been the most supportive person that anyone can ever ask for. I've learned a lot of what I do for Grady from my mom. And, you know, a woman that just cares, pours out an unbelievable amount of care, admiration, respect for others. We're talking about my mother, Miss Sunseria Smith. Thank you, Mama. Thank you for being on the show, baby. We love you.
You're a great example for all of us,
And I love
Mama.
y'all, too.
Peace.
One love.
One love, baby.